What's up guys, thanks for tuning back into the channel. Today we're going to be going over a flex fuel sensor installation kit from Fuelit. They were kind enough to send over one of their flex fuel kits for the N63TU platform. If you're trying to seek power on this platform, you probably already have your intake, your downpipes, some tune. As you keep pushing that ceiling for power, you're going to end up having to run ethanol at some point. And if you're in the realm of running ethanol, you need to make sure that you know the amount of ethanol in your fuel lines. This is important, and if not done correctly, it could damage your engine. Let's get started. All right guys, so here's a full kit. So on Fuelit's website, you have two options. You can either get the fuel lines only. If you've already followed my installation guide with the universal setup and you just want a clean setup, I'd opt for you to get this kit. Included in that kit is the lube, the adapter, and a fuel line. Now, if you get the full kit, you're gonna get the Bluetooth analyzer, the ethanol sensor itself, and then the fuel line kit as well. Now, what's missing from this table here is the wiring harness that provides power to the Bluetooth analyzer and the ethanol sensor. I already have it installed. It's very easy to install. It's just a cable that runs from this end all the way to your power source. All right, now that we know what we're installing, now we can go ahead and start taking apart the fuel lines and getting this installed. All right guys, so what we need to do first is start the engine of fuel. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and go to the trunk and unplug some fuses. Now, the fuse box location on your BMW may be different, but on the F10 550i, it is this panel right here. Take it off, and then there are three fuses that we need to take off. Now, the three fuses I've marked here, there should be a yellow 20 amp, another yellow 20 amp here, and then a 5 amp right here. So go ahead and use your fuse puller, grab this out. For the bigger ones, you want to use the bigger end of the fuse puller. That's 2, and then 3. Now that we have those unplugged, when we start the car will run for a few seconds and then slowly stall as if it's running out of gas, which it basically is. So I'll go ahead and start the car. It'll take a few seconds. Good stall. You try it one more time just to make sure. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear it start, 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 start. And if it starts up again, it's going to die pretty quickly. So right now there is no fuel in the fuel lines. So we're good to go. The next thing we're going to do is unplug the battery. All you're going to need is a 10mm wrench, and then a rag or something to protect the negative terminal from touching the negative post on the battery. So we're going to go and do that now. You have two plastic 10mm bolts here. Undo those. Put those to the side. Let this flap up. And then we have our battery. You don't have to fully unscrew the post. You just have to unscrew it so that it can wiggle off. You put it like so. And then you're good. Now you can let this flat back down, and then you can safely work on your car. All right, so this is the fuel line that we're going to be replacing with our Fuelit ethanol sensor. Now, I already had this installed, but I made sure to keep this on my initial installation. I went ahead and swapped it back to stock. Very easy to do. Honestly, this whole job should only take you about 30 minutes to an hour after you follow this video. So after we went ahead and starved the engine of fuel, now we can go ahead and disconnect this fuel line. There are two clips here. You have a gray clip that secures this side of the fuel line, and then another gray clip right here. All we need to do is pry this clip open, and then it'll release itself from the fuel line. All right, so I'm going to take one side. We're just kind of pulling it apart and then taking it off. There we go. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. This one's probably a little bit more sketchy, but we got it. All right, what's next now is that we're gonna go ahead and release this fuel line. So it's a push in and then you pull out. You're gonna want some rags because there may or may not be some fuel that falls out. We're gonna push this in and then wiggle it off. And there we go. That's off. All right, now we're gonna do this side, same exact thing. Then we're just gonna push the yellow piece in, and then it comes right off. And now we're ready to install the actual sensor. All right, so what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna go ahead and add some lube to the fuel lines. Squeeze that a little bit, just put it all the way around on this end. Make sure you get both sides, so this side and this side. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the fuel lines in the engine. All right, so same thing here. I'm gonna add a little bit of lube. Just rub it around. And then same thing on this side as well. We're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and install the fuel lines now. What you're gonna do here is, after you've lubed up the lines, you can go ahead and install this adapter first. It doesn't matter which way you start, if you want to start on this side or this side. I'm going to start this side first. Get your 5/16 side, make sure it's facing the stock fuel line. What you're going to do is just put it right over the line. And then we can get our locking tab and secure it. And what you're going to need a 16mm wrench. I have a 17 because I don't know where my 16mm wrench is. You can use it to take off these tabs that are on top of the adapters and fuel lines. Just place it on the line, get it into the socket, and then use your wrench to secure it. Be careful with this because this could fall. And then you're gonna get your sensor. Now the way that I'm gonna install it, I'm gonna have the power socket facing the front of the car. So you can get your sensor. What you're gonna do first actually is the lock that's on this side of the 3/8, you're gonna put it on top here. So like so. And then you're gonna try to line up the lock to slide in there. There we go. Now that's secure. So now we have one side done. Now we need to get the fuel line on. To get your fuel line, how this is gonna go is you're gonna have your L-shaped 3/8 connector onto the sensor itself, and then connect your 5/16 side to your fuel line on the motor. Just like we did before, we're gonna put that here carefully, get that on there. There we go. Now that's locked in place. All right, now get your wrench. And now we're secured. Pop this back into place. There we go. All right, now we are fully in. This is the Bluetooth adapter that we're gonna plug in now. You're gonna have this side plug into the sensor. All right guys, once that's done, you have your Bluetooth sensor plugged in here, and you're gonna use this side to plug into your wiring harness. Now we plug this in. Now that we have our sensor installed, we just need to focus on providing power. So the way that I did it, and there's multiple ways that you can do it, I used one of these posi tap connectors. These connectors won't damage your wiring like the vampire clips will, and I'll show you exactly where I use this connector. Underneath this panel here, there's gonna be a wire that we're gonna tap into. When you're in this area by your brake booster, your brake fluid reservoir, you're gonna see a set of wires that are gonna lead up to the wiper motor connector. That's what we're gonna use to tap into power. So go ahead and get a posi tap connector, use the red wire, install it, and then for your ground, you can use this bolt right here. Now again, completely up to you on how you wanna wire your sensor, but that is the way that I chose to do so. And actually Fuelit recommends I do that as well. So I'm gonna follow with what the manufacturer says. And once that's all wired up, we're good to continue. And now we can safely run E85, E40, E30, whatever your tune is. You can safely run it on your motor and have confidence that you have the right mixture and the optimal performance. All we have to do now is go ahead and plug back in the fuses and the battery, start the car, and enjoy. One thing to do real quick, as soon as you start the car, go ahead and check for leaks, just to make sure that there's no loose connections or whatnot. Pretty good idea. You don't want fuel to just be spitting out everywhere while you're starting the car. Now we can go ahead and connect our sensor to our device. So if you have Android or iPhone, you can download this app. I have an Android screen, so I'm going to use the app that I have here. You can search for Fuelit on any app store. And then you hit connect. So I have E40 tune and the sensor is seeing E40. Now I know that I am at the most optimal mixture and I can drive the car confidently knowing that I'm safe. All right guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Thank you Fuelit for sponsoring this video and providing me the fuel lines and the ethanol sensor. Thank you for watching this video and watching this installation do-it-yourself guide. If this was helpful for you, go ahead and leave a like and comment any questions that you have. All right, I'll see you next video. Later.